Okay, so in today's tutorial I'm going to show you guys an awesome effect here with gradients on shapes, and also to get a little bit of my design skills out to you, showing you how I did the background, and as well going to work a little bit with curves here, a few levels, yeah, and just getting an awesome color grade as well onto this image. Yeah, that's all. Let's get right into it. Alright, so I've already imported my image here into Photoshop, as you guys can see under layer basic here, just my first normal layer. Now my next step that I want to do is first of all create some guidelines, and then as well also do a little bit of a design here in the background. So I've already accessed my rulers here, as you guys can see from the top, and I'm literally going to just with the move tool now drag some awesome guides down here, over here as well, down here on the right hand side, and also from the top. If you guys don't have this ruler, please just go to view and select rulers over here. Now as well, as you guys can see, I've already made 4 guidelines. I'm also going to create another guideline here in the center. So I'm just going to go back to view, new guides, horizontal. Let's start with that, and I'm going to write in here 50%. Okay, I guess you guys already know about this first stuff. Alright, new guide as well, vertical, so I'm rushing through this, 50%. Okay, so we already have a new guidelines over here, and we can now easily create a new shape. Now if I'm going to go to the shape tool over here, and also now in the shape library, as you guys can see, I've got tons of different shapes in here. Just go on the web, search for shapes, Photoshop shapes, and you can download them. Then you also get tons like me. So I'm going to work literally now just with the diamond shape over here. But if you guys don't have this diamond shape, or if you want to create a new different shape, also I would recommend maybe be creative with this, create your own shape, your own little lines, and then you can do whatever you want to do with the design. So how to create your own little shape. It's very simple though. Just go again and select your move tool here from the top, and then as well you can drag down a new line. I'm going to show you guys now quickly how to do just the diamond shape. So literally maybe just space this about 5 millimeters, and then as well over here 5 millimeters, the same over here and also down here. And then what you're going to do, obviously I'm going to do this, it's not right now, but obviously if you do it precise. So I'm going to press P for pen tool, and then as well going to start making an anchor point over here, 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 here and here. Okay, the same I'm going to continue over there, here, here, here and here. And as you guys can see, mine is totally skewed now. This is a little bit thicker than this one. Yeah, so you guys can be creative with this and do whatever you like. Next step you have to do is press right click and say define custom shape. Hit that, and as you guys can see already, we have a new diamond shape over here. Bear in mind you also need to be in the right space here for the pen tool. I'm going to show it to you guys in a moment. Okay, then just write here diamond or whatever shape you created, hit OK, and that will be directly added to your custom shape library. Okay, let's also switch back quickly. So I'm going to just show you exclude overlapping shades. So that's the option you have to select if you do it with a pen tool. Okay, great. So next step that I'm going to do is just press escape again. I'm going to get out of that. Also take just this line and this help line. You can also literally just move them out really quickly via dragging them away. Okay, like I did now at the moment. Anyways, okay. So next step that I want to do is go to shapes again, take the diamond. I'm going to just click in here once. Let me just select the diamond shape again. Click on the image again, and it's directly going to ask me what type of size do I want to create. So I want to create it to the biggest, which is 3000 pixels. You can't go bigger than that unless you scale it bigger. Okay, 3000 as well. So it's directly the same width and height, so it's pretty nice. Okay, so I'm going to drag this now, and as you guys can see, it's a little bit too small. So I do want to have this a little bit bigger actually. So I'm going to press Command T and just transform this a little bit bigger. I'm going to hold Shift, take the anchor point here on the right hand side to also equally shape this or make this a bit bigger. And I'm just going to go to the top until it gets red here on that guideline. As well, holding spacebar so I can move down and a little bit further. And as you guys can see, I'm also working in the full screen mode here from Photoshop. Literally just press F and then you get into the full screen mode again. Okay, so this is a little bit big here. Let's give that a try. Again, like I said earlier, you can be creative, do whatever you like. I'm just going to do this shape today. Okay, so place this into here. And now my next step, very important. Take the opacity down now already, because otherwise you have to go into every single shape and take down the opacity. Obviously, if you want different opacities, feel free to don't do this. I'm going to take the opacity maybe just down to 40%. Okay, before and after. And now my next step that I'm going to do is press Command J and literally just going to move this shape a little bit over. Okay, also with the cursors left and right. Okay, somewhere over here. If you want to get rid of these distracting or irritating lines from the path, just literally hold Command Shift and H. That will hide the path line over here. So you can now easily and a little bit better space these shapes. So I'm going to let a little bit space in here so it just looks a bit better. I'm going to press Command J again and duplicate again that layer. Press again your move tool. And let's move that all the way over. Again with my cursors here, left and right. Yeah, and it's a bit tricky keeping a little bit of that space in there. So I guess I'll just move them all the way in. Okay, I'm going to select the second layer again, also move that in. And I'm not worrying too much now about this little line over here. This is obviously a tutorial. I'm also trying to do this a little bit quicker. So if you guys don't want this line, you have to space your design and your shape pretty well. Okay, I'm going to press Command J once again, and we have another shape. And I'm literally just going to move this over for one last time. Okay, and now what I want to do is go into the opposite direction with this. So again, Command J, and I will try to only do around 10 shapes. Okay, so literally space this in there. Okay, great. And now let's also press Command J once again. We have already 6 already. So again, I'm going to move this one maybe down all the way, somewhere over here. Okay, a little bit up. Okay, I'm going to do another one. And I'm going to move this one over here. And they're also overlapping each other now. Don't worry about that. Okay, somewhere like that. And we already have 3, 6, 7. So 2 more for the bottom here. Command J, or 3 more. Okay, and a little bit spacing them in as well in here. And as well, guys, you guys can use circles. You can use whatever you like. It's just me, I'm using the diamond shape at the moment. Okay, as well, I'm going to move a little bit over here, press Command J once more, and also going to move this guy in here. Okay, something like that. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit, have a look at it, and we already have a few more layers. I'm just going to go and make this a bit bigger. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So one more. We could actually fit one more in, but I don't really need one more. So I'm pretty happy with these lines. Just not trying to create tons of them. Okay, so my next step that I want to do now is basically turn off everything over here and start with the first one. So what I want to do, I don't want to try to keep them to black. I want to put actually a gradient on this. So I'm just going to go down here to this new adjustment layer icon and also create a gradient. So select gradient as well. This will directly just ask if it wants to do a full gradient. I'm not caring too much about this now. I'm just going to select a gradient here from the top, and I'm going to try to keep it simple. So either just work with this gradient or this gradient in order to already have a little bit of an orange, magenta, yellowy, and also purple color. You can obviously be creative with this again. I'm going to hit OK for the start now, but we're still going to work a little bit just with the angle here. So hit OK. And as you guys can see, this is obviously affecting the complete canvas. So I'm going to hold Alt in order so that this gradient layer can clip to the design down here. So hold Alt, let that clip to this. And as you guys can see already, now we already have a cool little shape here, or the design, and also with a gradient on top. So it's already affecting that. Now you can also double tap on here, and this will take you back into the gradient fill layer or window. And have a look. Now I can actually take the angle and just move this around and obviously try to create a new design for this. As well, you can also play a little bit with radial and as well with angle, etc. All these type of things. So I'm just going to play with linear at the moment, and let's maybe try to make a yellowish corner down here at the bottom and something more blue up here, green, purple. Let's have a look. We'll play around with this. So I'm going to start somewhere over here. Okay. And that is now my first try. So what I'm going to do, I'm also going to duplicate this layer and just move this up to the top. Again, hold Alt. So this samples again to the second layer. Let's switch that on. I'm going to double tap on here and just literally move this a little bit around. You can also, if you want to, give this obviously directly a new gradient color, something like this maybe. And it actually looks great. So I'm going to hit OK and leave it to that. Okay, now I'm doing exactly the same step again now for every single layer. So Command J, I'm going to place one in here. Command J, I'm going to place one in here. Command J, and Command J, Command J. That's obviously duplicating all of these layers. Command J once more. And one last time. Command J duplicated that again. Okay, so again, I'm going to hold Alt and take the first layer here, clip that to this one, select this one, clip that. Maybe there's even a easier process if you directly from the start already do it with the gradient. This is just my way of doing it, and already a mistake. Command Z back there, take the gradient over here, second gradient or the third one, and the last one over here. Okay, so now we already have gradients for every single layer. To have everything also a little bit in structure and order here, I'm directly going to take the first shape layer over here, move all the way to the top, hold Shift, select the last one, so it's literally going to select all these layers. Press Command G, and we already have a group here, and I'm just going to write here shape. Okay, so this is basically all our shapes. They're not all turned on, but it's just literally in a group, and we can see stuff a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm going to do steps for steps, so a little process here. Again, switch on the new one. Now bear in mind we have the same gradient for all the layers, so these designs will all look the same. So literally, just go and double tap here on the gradient fill layer again, and I'm literally going to just change this a little bit again to a new position. Okay, let's select the next one. Switch this on, double tap on here, and for this time I'm going to choose a new gradient, maybe even just this yellow. Okay, and we can also try playing around a little bit with these gradients. Okay, somewhere over here looks cool with this thing. This is totally creative, guys, and I'm being very, like, there's no certain plan how I normally do these. This is just me, and I'm doing this now and having a feeling of how it looks like, and then, yeah, I'm going with the flow. You could say it's like that. Okay, again, the new gradient as well. I'm going to select the new gradient over here. Maybe some funky rainbow colors over here. As you guys can see, completely rainbow. Okay, you can also then again tweak this a little bit to get some more awesome colors in here. Yeah, and we tried to make a little bit more blue in the right corner, down the blue as well. Let's keep it like that. Okay, you can obviously individually also now play again with your opacities and with the gradient for opacities. I'm going to go up a little bit further, select this one. Yeah, and it doesn't look too bad. I'm actually going to try to keep the blue in the left corner. Okay, hit OK over here. I'm going to do this also a little bit quicker now, so you guys don't need to sit here for ages and watch me do this. Okay, something like that. And as well, switching on the last one down here. Gradient again, and I'm going to select a new gradient, maybe the yellow again, to get a bit more yellow in there. This green is quite hectic over here, so we can still see where that green is coming from. Okay, switch that on and double tap on here, and let's maybe make something completely opposite here. Okay, something like that. Maybe also a new layer. Let's try a blue for a change. Green. This actually looked pretty nice, so I'm going to work with this gradient. Okay. So again, hit OK, and that is already the first start. So I'm going to minimize this group again, and as you guys can see, this looks quite strong now. So one option that you can also do is take the complete shape group and just take that down by, say, maybe around 60% or something. So it's not that colory and that strong affecting. Again, you guys can be creative with this and decide whatever you want to do with this. Okay, and this is always, I did the second approach now, so it might look a little bit different from the first approach. Okay, so my next step now that I also want to do is, obviously this is getting way too green over here, and I actually want to still keep her natural skin tones and obviously the right skin tones on top. So I'm going to take basic layer again, press Command J, duplicate that, move that all the way to the top. Now we obviously have everything visible again. If the lines are also distracting the guidelines, we can actually remove them now. So what I'm going to do is just say over here, view, clear all guides, so we have them out of the way. Okay, nice. So you can see how creative we are with this. Now, next step I want to do on the basic copy here, I'm just going to write here skin tones, or maybe just skin is fine as well. But I'm going to hold Alt and make this a hidden mask. As you guys can see, that hide it completely now. So with B, brush, white foreground colors, because we're obviously painting on a hidden mask, a black mask. I'm going to take my opacity maybe just to around 60% for the start. Also going to press Ctrl Alt together, go left and right, up and down here. I just want to check the hardness a little bit. So obviously if you're moving up and down, you can change the hardness. Left and right, you can also change your brush size. So I'm going to use around a hardness around 30%. And I'm also working with the Vacuma Continuous 5 tablet, so I'm able via my board here, the wheel, to change the brush size really quickly. Otherwise, go and use your brackets up and down. to change your brush as well. Okay, so I'm literally, what are we going to do? I'm just going to brush in here a little bit on the skin tones. Maybe make my brush a little bit smaller as well. Let's just have a look here if I've got this selected. Okay, the brush as well. And I'm literally, maybe this is a little bit too strong still, so I'm going to take it down to 30% opacity. Make the brush a little bit bigger and just brush a little bit over here, bringing the original colors and stuff back again. As well over here on the hair. Okay, and I'm literally just tapping my way through this. Okay, and we can also play with this. I'm going to be a little bit rougher now in here. And then I'm going to switch the foreground colors again and obviously bring this back again. So X, switch foreground color to make the brush a little bit bigger. And a little bit over the hair here. I love the yellow in there. Okay, great. And just brushing in these areas a little bit over here. Okay, so as you guys can see again, before and after, just letting her shimmer through a little bit more. We're obviously going to work still on top of that, so don't worry. If you want to bring her a little bit more out, you can go for it. Okay, always switch before and after, so that's a good difference there. As well, I'm also going to do the hair a little bit more. Switch again, X. Okay, that looks a bit better to me. Okay, so the next step that I want to do is add a little bit of a flare here into the center. Now I know most of you don't have an awesome plugin as I do, this filter one called Knoll Light Factory, and you can create a really cool flare effect with this. But obviously we don't have that, so let's create a complete new flare from scratch. I'm going to create an empty new layer, press Command A to select everything, M for marking tool, right click, and we're going to fill this with 50%, no actually 100% black. Okay, so we filled this with black, hit OK over here, press Command D, get out of the selection. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so we have a new selection. Now what I want to do is actually create a gradient on this. So I'm literally going to go down here to the gradient tool and just select the gradient over here. It's going to ask me for a new gradient, and I've already actually created this gradient. So over here is this color palette. I'm going to hit OK for the moment and OK over here as well. I want to show you guys how to create this totally from scratch. So simply go to your gradient tool, also double tap here just onto the gradient library, and you can then as well go and select a new gradient over here. You can literally just select an old one, and then as well over the left hand side you have to select here all the blacks, because we're going to create the flare on a black layer, and then obviously going to make the blending option to screen, and that will shine through then. So the complete left side to black. Okay, and then as well I want to switch this opacity here to 100. Okay, so everything is black on this side as well. Select white over here, 100%. Okay, now we have a complete black gradient. We didn't want that. Double click on here again, get back into the gradient picker. Okay, so color black over here. On this side we actually wanted to have white, so let's select the top here, double tap at the bottom again, and we're going to select white. Okay, you can also do this here from this gradient. I'm just going to select white now. Okay, then I want to do about 2 new dots in here, one over here, and this one I want to double tap on there, and also going to pick a little bit of a more yellowish color, as you guys can see over here. So it's getting a little bit brighter from the white. Okay, something like this. Okay, and as well here at the back I want to create a little bit of a darker rich orange color, something like this. Double tap on here again so you guys can get all the stats here and the numbers. And I'm going to go a little bit warmer actually, or a little bit cooler, a little bit more orangey. Take this up a little bit further. Basically what I want to do now is just space this a little bit closer so it's a little bit more feathered over here, and as well at the back here. Okay, not too far, we're going to delete that point. This should be black. Okay, so literally this is about our new shape that we have. So simply just hit new over here. I've already got the shape, so hit new over here, and you can just obviously save it like this. Okay, I'm going to hit cancel again, and I already have this gradient tool. So what I want to do now is double tap here back into the gradient window, and now the trick comes in. On the style I want to choose radial, so it's obviously like this, but obviously now the sun is on the outside, and obviously on the inside it's bright, so outside we have to inverse this. So just select reverse over here, and there you guys can already see the awesome cool sun flare, or kind of a flare effect. Again, you can also space these rings a little bit more, add a bit more colors into this to make it an awesome gradient flare effect. Now also go check out Andres' channel, he explains that into depth. I'm going to hit OK, and for the next step now, I'm going to take the blending option and change that to screen. And as you guys can see now, so we obviously have to delete our previous layer here. There you go, we already have a cool new flare effect right in the image here. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have this now on top. Next step that I'm going to do is just brush this out a little bit here from her face. So I don't want the face to be that completely yellow. So again, switch your foreground colors to black, B for the brush as well, opacity maybe just 20%, make it a little bit smaller, or actually leave it big so it's nice and soft around here. And literally going to just tap once over here, and again, and maybe around her a little bit. Okay, great, just something like that. Now as well, I do want to make this a little bit harder, so I'm going to press Command J and get another duplicate of this, but not too strong, maybe down just a little bit further to around 20%, so it's just a little bit more of a punch in here. Okay, great, that looks nice already. So again, I can put these into a new group, but I don't want to for now. I'm first of all going to just put some lettering on here and some fonts. So again, I want to write now a summer feeling. So the first thing that I'm going to do is select the pen tool on the left hand side here. Just select pen tool. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger over here. And for the first part, we're going to write feeling. Okay, so feeling in here. Okay, a little mistake here. Let's write feeling. Okay, and also let's space this. I'm going to press Command J and make this just a little bit bigger. Okay, move this somewhere down here. And as well for now, I'm just going to select as well T, again T for the text tool. I'm going to select all. I'm going to go into up to the color channels here and just select a little bit of a grayish color over here. I don't want to have it completely black. Okay, great. I'm going to hit OK, and you can press Move tool again, space this a little bit bigger or smaller. Okay, as well, I'm going to go back into the text tool again with T, and also going to write here again. Just make a nice space. I'm going to write summer. Okay, obviously this is still the wrong font, so I'm going to select all again, and this time again it's called Color of Autumn or something. That's the new font that I'm going to use. Color of Autumn over here. Okay, great. So I'm also going to write this SU big summer, and I'm going to select all, going to make this just white. Okay, going to hit OK over here, V for move tool, and I'm just going to rotate this a bit with Command T, and then literally just moving this a little bit. Okay, somewhere like that. I'm going to accept that, and I'm still want to do a little bit of a drop shadow for that. So literally just going on summer, double tap on here, and I'm going to select drop shadow, and then as well let's play a little bit just with the distance over here, just a little bit bigger, and also size down, spread down as well. I want to have a pretty hard drop shadow for that. Okay, a little bit bigger. Also double tap here onto the color. I do want to take the same color as we have for this font. So again, a little bit lighter, a little bit more grayish instead of completely black. So this just matches a little bit better. Okay, as well the opacity, I'm going to take it all the way up, 100%. Let's just have a look again. Color is still the same. Okay. Okay, and there already I have my new color for that. Great, so if we got the drop shadow, we've got the font in as well. Now I do want to add a little bit of a pop here again on top of my image. And if I'm still not happy at the end, I'm still going to add a little bit of her original skin tones back again. So my next step now is also to make everything a little bit more yellow, and not just over here. I'm going to add a solid color layer. As well, let's also just take a yellowish color over here. Whoops, something like this. So a little bit higher as well. Okay, and I'm going to hit OK as well. And now I'm going to switch the blending option all the way to color. So as you guys can see, this is completely yellow now. Exactly. Take the opacity all the way down to maybe just 10-15% before and after. Before and after. It's a little bit too strong still. So maybe just 10% before and after, before and after. Okay, this is also just my personal taste. I wanted to add a little bit more yellow. You can play obviously with this again. So let's also now go over to adjustments, and we're going to select a curves adjustment layer. I'm just going to space this a little bit bigger. And in the curves adjustment layer, just in the normal RGB color tones, I just want to take the shadow parts and brighten them up a little bit, give that a bit more contrast. So a little bit up here, maybe just to the first bar, somewhere over there. And also take something over here and just maybe give this a bit more contrast. like literally just a little bit. We're still going to play a little bit with selective color. Let's have a look. I'm also going back and forth again to always just see when it will suit the image a little bit nicer. Okay, somewhere over here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that actually. Before and after, before and after. Just a little bit of a touchy contrast to that. Okay, let's go back to adjustments again and selective color, my favorite color tone, color balance adjustment layer thing. Okay, so in here I'm going to work a little bit now just with the neutral tones and then as well also with my black tones. So I'm going to start out with neutral tones again. And first of all, I'm going to just work a little bit with the magentas. So maybe just add a bit of magenta to this, to say plus 10 or 11. That's a little bit too strong already. Plus 11. Then as well, plus 12 maybe for yellow. I've actually done this before. I'm looking at a window here so I can already see what I'm doing, but I just wanted to show you guys pretty much how I got to this effect. So literally I was also playing again with these sliders, a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. So obviously a little bit to the left here, minus 12. It's brightening those nice magentas again. Looks pretty cool. So I want to see, yeah, minus 12. That looks actually pretty great. Then as well, plus 3 for the blacks here again, for the neutrals, to just push those a little bit. But I'm actually going to decide now to go to plus 4 maybe. Okay, let's have a look again, before and after, and I'm more a fan now of the magenta-y look actually. So again, before and after. Okay, but now let's also go into the blacks and push that a little bit further. So I'm going to take the cyans as well over here and maybe just tweak them down. Let's have a look. It's getting a really nice, cool, colory brighten up here on the font. So I'm going to take it a little bit further, as it actually suits if the font also looks pretty much the same as the image over here. So minus 13, minus 14. Okay, great. As well, the magentas, let's take them up a little bit. Down, not too good. Maybe up a little bit, giving that really nice contrast. Plus 14, that looks around fine. Okay, yellows, let's also take them up. Not too good. Maybe down a little bit. Yeah, and that also gives a really nice touch in here. So maybe just minus 8, minus 7. Yeah, great. Okay, blacks as well. I want to push those down a little bit again. So maybe just minus 9. Well, it's brightening it up again. Minus 7. As you guys can see, I'm always moving the sliders a little bit left and right. But that's pretty cool already. I'm pretty happy already with this. So again, let's have a look. Before and after, before and after. And again, everything changed obviously because our gradients also have color. So everything changes a little bit. Great. So that's already my next step that I've done now. Let's also just switch maybe back to adjustments here so we have a bit more space in our layers palette. I'm going to take all of these layers again and just put another second group, Command G again, and I'm going to write here look maybe. Okay, and there we already have our new look for that. Okay, great. Now last step that I want to do is just take basics again, Command J, put that all the way to the top, and again just going to write here maybe skin. Okay, last step, again hold Alt, and we're also going to make a hidden mask on this again. B for brush, white foreground color again, and literally just with, yeah, maybe say 10%. I'm just going to brush out a little bit of the skin tones here from the girl. So maybe just a bit on top. Okay, and a little bit more. And as you guys can see, we're also getting rid of the flare a little bit. So watch out that you're not doing it too much. Okay, that's why I'm also painting with a little bit bigger brush. Also very soft featherness here as well. And as I can already see, we're missing out here on the font. So again, switch foreground colors. So you don't need to pay on the font here. You're obviously going to remove the font. So I'm literally just brushing the font back again. Also 100% 00, so that will make your opacity back to 100. And I'm literally just going over the font here, trying to put that all the way back in. Yeah, okay, and that's basically already that I would do to this image. Maybe still later play again with a little bit of a cropping here, add a little bit of another overall solid adjustment or solid color layer here, maybe with just again 2 or 3 pixels here. Sorry, let me go say a yellowish color. Okay, switch that to color and opacity like literally 2 or 1. Just so adding a last touch here so everything is a bit more yellow. Okay, then as well, crop maybe. Yeah, and that's it actually. Created a quick, easy, summer feeling look picture for you guys. Okay, so that is already everything for today's Photoshop tutorial, guys. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think about summer feeling. We still have summer feeling here in Africa. I'm not sure you guys in the States and Europe, most probably not, but it's coming soon. Anyways, let me know what you think about the tutorial. Then as well, you guys can create different shapes. You don't need to create this shape and this kind of pattern for the background. So be creative with this.